Hi, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Gains and Grace, the podcast for women behind the weights. I'm your host, Carrie, and today we are deep diving into a topic that is extremely personal, a little controversial, and definitely not talked enough about testosterone. Whether you're just starting to support your partner through a fitness journey or you've been riding the waves of mood swings, injections, and meal preps for a while now, this episode's for you. I want you to feel like we're having a cup of coffee or my Stanley, honest, warm, and empowering. You to leave here with a little bit more knowledge, you're more informed, more connected, and the most important, more empowered. So let's get into it. So let's start with the basics. Why do so many men turn to testosterone therapy? So 50 years ago, you didn't need this. But because of all the stress that we have to deal with, all the hormones in our food, there are so many different factors that cause a man's testosterone to be low. So it's not just about the aesthetics, the six packs, the bulging biceps. It's about something a bit more deeper. Many men begin to notice changes in their body and mind when they start to age. Lower energy levels, a drop in their sex drive, struggling to hold onto muscle mass, feeling emotionally flat. So some men in their 30s, 40s wondering why they're feeling a little off. Others are bodybuilders or gym enthusiasts trying to maximize their physique. Then there are men who've had past injuries, surgeries, even trauma that has affected their hormone production. Testosterone is a way to reclaim vitality, masculinity, and control over their health and performance. So I see it all over Facebook and social media of saying, my husband just wants to stay at home. My husband doesn't want me. My husband is always grumpy. This could be one of the biggest contributes to that. So, what is testosterone? Testosterone is a hormone that occurs naturally in all bodies, but it's very dominant in men. In the gym world, synthetic testosterone, or we call it TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, is used to enhance energy, recovery, libido, strength, and muscle growth. Some use it for medical reasons, others use it for performance. There's a big difference. So when my man told me that he was going to start taking testosterone, I was like, okay, like, is this something you just go buy, like a supplement that you buy at a shop? Fast forward, Googling injection sites at 2 a.m. If you know, you know. So, what are the benefits of testosterone? When it's done correctly and monitored carefully, testosterone can be life changing. Muscle growth becomes more effective and consistent. Fat loss improves, especially around the belly area. Mental clarity, brain fog lifts. Mood and motivation increase, often dramatically. Libido goes up and intimacy often improves. Confidence returns in both gym and just the daily life. So, from my perspective of what I saw change was a different person, just more confidence, uh, more in control, basically become alive again. He's more driven, he's more like himself, and we've been able to connect on new levels, emotionally, physically, but it didn't come without its challenges. So the downsides and risks of test is because it's not all sunshine and six packs and biceps and etc., etc., etc. Testosterone therapy, especially when not guided by a professional, can cause mood swings. Yes, it's not you, it's the test. There's water retention, acne, hair loss, suppressed natural testosterone, emotional distance or irritability, aggression or frustration, often mistook as roid rage. That's another story for another day. Depression or low mood during off weeks or crashes, sleep disturbances, and even night sweats, shrinking testicles, and fertility issues. And then there's estrogen. When testosterone levels rise, some of it naturally converts to estrogen, a process called aromatization. And estrogen isn't the enemy, it's actually needed for joint health, mood balance, and libido. But when estrogen levels get too high, there's water retention, mood swings, gynecomastia, man boobs, what they call it, fat gain, especially in the hips and chest. Those are things that are generally more in women. So when estrogen is too low, often from overusing inhibitors, joint pain, lack of emotion or connection, low libido, fatigue. It's a very delicate balance, and one that most gym bros don't want to talk about. Monitoring estrogen is just as important as testosterone. So there are different types of testosterone. So let's break it down to the different ones that you might hear about. So there's testosterone cypionate, TESC. This is one of the most common forms used in TRT. It's slow releasing ester that's usually injected once a week, but there are people that do it every single day, which helps with the hormonal fluctuation. So my partner started on testosterone C, and it was definitely a learning curve to see what worked for his body because every single person is different. So before I carry on, I'm not a doctor. I am not giving medical advice. I am just telling you what I've experienced. Then there's testosterone propionate. This one acts fast but also leaves the body quickly, requiring more frequent injections every 2 to 3 days, or again, other people do it every single day. This one is not my favorite. And this is actually a contention with my partner and I because I've seen him on test C and I've seen him on test P. I don't like test P. He thinks there's no difference, but I'm from the outsider. So I see the difference in it's not a physical thing, it's more of an emotional, mental thing that I feel from it. So yeah, there's a little bit of a contention with regards to that. He says he doesn't feel any different. I'm going to stand going blue in my face and say there is a difference. Then there's Testosterone. That's a mix of the 4 different esters designed to give both immediate and long-lasting effects. It's often used in the bodybuilding world. I'm going to probably be experiencing this one, so let's just put a little bookmark and then I'll let you know how that one goes. Then there's testosterone ethanoate, which is similar to cypionate, just slightly different release profile. Then there's gels and creams. These ones feel like a little weird. Like put a gel on and it gives you testosterone. I don't know. I've never experienced it. I've never heard of it. So I'm learning something new too. So the type and frequency depends on the goals, availability, and how well a man's body responds because every single person is different. So medical advice versus gym bro advice. Doctors prescribe TRT to treat low testosterone, typically a slow and steady dose. Bodybuilders often run cycles, short-term high doses followed by a post-cycle therapy. So the way that works is they'll be on testosterone, let's say on a cycle from 10 to 16 weeks, and let's say they're running at 400 milligrams per week. Then they'll go on to a PCT, which is post-cycle therapy, where they don't have any other compounds. They are just using the testosterone at a very low level. So obviously it stays in their body. Not all advice is safe. Gym locker rooms aren't labs. If your partner's doing this, help him do it responsibly. Do the research. Talk to him about it. See what the pros and cons are, because that's what I do. And if he's resistant to getting blood work done, just remind him if you can inject it, you can inspect it. So I really like that little saying there. It's a wild west out there in the gym world, especially nowadays with TikTok and Instagram, and I think bodybuilding in the last year has really just blown up. Steroids has really blown up, and honestly, it can feel like watching someone building a rocket ship using YouTube tutorials and bro science. As a partner, you're often the silent flight control, hoping it launches and it doesn't, and praying it doesn't explode. So, how do we support our partners, the real MVPs? This journey isn't just about him, it's about us too, the women who walk alongside it. And supporting someone on testosterone means stepping up in ways we never expected. So, the key things I would say, well, your number one thing is to communicate, not just about what he's taking, but how it's making him feel. You know, different levels, different spaces in their lives, different milligrams, it's going to make him feel different. So he could, 100 milligrams could work for him, but then for the next person, 400 milligrams. So you're going to have to see and sort of play around with it to see what is best for his body. And he'll be able to tell you that. You're going to have to learn the lingo. Test P, SUS, TRT, cycles, PCT. Yep, it's a whole brand new language. When it first started out, I used to sit there going, what the hell? But with time, it does get better. So even if there's times that I'm telling you something and you're like, Carrie, what did you just say? Just drop me a comment and I'll try and explain it as best as possible to you. There's prepping meals, but prep your heart too. You're going to need both the fuel and the patience. Give grace when the mood shifts. It's going to shift. It's and again, it's not always about us. It's the hormones. It's not always going to be easy, but at this point, I would pick your battles while he's going through this and don't get butt hurt. That's what my boyfriend says. Don't get butt hurt. Um, because I was very easily butt hurt in the beginning. What did I do wrong? Did I say something that upset him? But as time has gone by, I've learned to see the difference between a hormonal mood or when he's really in a mood. So also I would encourage blood work and doing things safely. Health has to be number one. And you can't just take testosterone and think, okay, whoop, Bobby, I'm cool. Now I'm okay. There is other things you need to do. And we'll go into more of that because I have a whole Excel spreadsheets that him and I have designed together that we have everything. It's literally like our little holy grail. His food's on there. All the compounds are on there. The milligrams of what he's taking, when he's taking it, when it's changing. I have one of to keep track of his moods, how his body's changing, his weight, there's so much. That could be another whole different ball game, another whole different podcast just on that. And I always say his gains is our journey too, but supporting your man doesn't mean that you need to lose yourself. We lift them, but we've also got to lift ourselves. And that's really, really important. And it can be difficult, I promise you. I've been through it all. I still go through it. So just know that you're not alone. Supporting a man on test has really been eye-opening. It's taught me patience, communication, and the importance of doing your own research. I've learned to track his emotional patterns, ask about his cycle schedules, encourage the blood work, responsible use, support him during the low points, even if you don't fully understand them. Check in on him. Men nowadays don't always just want to say, oh, this is how he's feeling, but just the only thing that you can honestly do is say, hey, babe, I'm checking in. How are things? How are you feeling? How's your body feeling? How are you sleeping? How are you feeling mentally, emotionally? Um, that's the only thing that you can do. And it's up to him to open up to you. There's been moments that I have been unsure about things. It is definitely a roller coaster, but I can definitely tell you that it's definitely been more good than bad, but only because we talk about it and we work through it together. So if you ever felt confused or overwhelmed or just downright hormonal by association, you're not alone. We're in this together. Proteins, patience, and a whole lot of love, right? So if this episode helps you feel seen, supported, share it with other gym babes. Drop us a follow on Spotify, tag at Gains and Grace on TikTok or on Instagram. Let's keep growing this together. And please like, subscribe, and leave a comment, a thumbs up, or you have a question. Because the more we share, more women realize they're not alone. Just remember, if you're loving someone who's using test, your role is valid. Your voice matters. And your support, it's a quiet superpower. We don't have to be silent, and you don't have to guess. This is where we can help each other. So thank you for spending some time with me. This is Gains and Grace, where patience meets protein and love lifts heavier. So until next time, I will spot you later. Bye.